Hi, everybody. Welcome to Coach's Playbook with Paul LaPolice, your home for elite CFL breakdown and analysis. Today, we're going to talk about a form of, you want to call it a run-pass option. We previously did a playbook or pass install of what's called the Sally Rand game in the Canadian Football League, or an RPO where you read the defensive end. Sally Rand was a burlesque dancer back in the 40s, 50s, 60s. Well, when you read the end and pull the ball, it's called a naked bootleg, so that's why that name Sally came about 100 years ago or whatever in the CFL. But this is a form of a Sally Rand. I'll put a link up to that previous Sally Rand one above me, but also this is a different type. These are called BTLs, or what I call BTLs, behind the line of scrimmage screens that are attached to run game. So it's a Sally. It's a form of a Sally, but it's a behind the line of scrimmage concept where, hey, if you've got the opportunity to throw it to this behind the line of scrimmage screen, go ahead. It's easy opportunities to get the ball in your athletes' hands. Most teams in our league run this concept, and that's why teams' completion percentage goes up so much, because a lot of teams just like to get the ball in their playmakers' hands, and it's nice and easy to do. You block on the other side. Sometimes you'll hand the ball off if the end comes right to you. But this is what I call cannons. There's rockets, bombs, and cannons in my kind of Sally game system. So this is a form of that. I got about 9 clips of different teams running it. Hey, before I go, please subscribe to the page. Turn notifications on. It'll alert you as you're posting new stuff. We don't have enough CFL stuff out there, and that helps support the page. So let's open the playbook on Sally Rand behind the line of scrimmage screens. Here's a playbook page of a cannon for me, which, again, cannons, rockets, bombs, and cannons are forms of Sallies for me. Some are behind the line of scrimmage, some are after the line of scrimmage. The term one is it's a run to the left. You can see the tailback going to the left. R tells who's getting it. Cannon tells you it's a screen opposite the number. So ace right, 1R cannons, nice and simple. Let's show how people will be aligned. You're going to have a corner, you're going to have a half, you're going to have a Sam, you're going to have a Will, you're going to have a Mike, a half, and a corner, and a free safety. So basically, these players are blocking outside numbers. And I'll go over that in a second. Why? He's going to come down and make sure that player doesn't blitz, because the ball could be handed off as a run. So he's going to take the most dangerous man because he is leaving and part of the screen. It's basically the blocking. What happens when this is thrown? It has to be thrown behind the line of scrimmage, because you can't pass the ball when you can't block downfield and throw the ball past the line of scrimmage. So you have to be thrown behind the line of scrimmage. And these guys are going to be told block the outside numbers so he can stretch to the sideline, find a crease, and go. Now, everybody on defense, they're coached like hell to get upfield, force it back to your teammates. So that's the battle that's happening on the outside. These guys are going to run like hell and try to get the ball put back in this way where the help can come and all the D linemen can come get you. So that's the battle on the perimeter. Let me go over one of the reasons this is tough for people to do. Is this player now has to chase all the way across the field, and he's not sure if the ball's handed off yet. So, that's the problem. Sometimes you get the ball in space, you make your blocks. Now this halfback's got to chase all the way and make the play. One thing defenses will do to help that cause is they'll do something called rock and rolling, where he will go play free safety and he will run down here. A lot of teams in the Canadian Football League, they don't want that guy to chase and get leveraged, so they change it up. They call it rock and rolling. He takes him and he plays free safety. So that's why you want a free safety, can do a lot more so than just sit 20 yards deep. That's another way teams on defense try to handle it. The rules for the quarterback are simple. Hey, I used to say it this way. You're not really reading anything on a cannon. You're basically reading one decision. Did the rush end run right at me and force me to hand the ball off? If he did, hand the ball off. But we don't is it a fast squeeze, a slow squeeze? Is he playing contain? Anything besides running right at you where he could get in your way and make you not be able to throw the ball, okay? That's the only time you hand it off. Everything else, you're throwing the screen. So it's throw the screen unless the end comes straight to you. That's when you hand it off. And again, these are BTLs, behind the line of scrimmage screens attached to an inside zone play. Let's take a look at a couple. Okay, here's Ottawa running a BTL, or behind the line of scrimmage screen, based off the what I call the Sally game. This is why completions are up in the Canadian Football League. So what are the rules on this? So you tie it to, there's a zone read, where you're going to still read the end, and then the routes attached to that, they'll have some type of tag or a name. I would have called this a cannon, would have called this whatever, R cannon. And the players away from the zone run would understand, oh, on a cannon, I'm blocking the defender over me. I'm blocking the defender over me. They'll have a call to tell this player to come all the way back. He'll block whoever comes across, usually the person who's covering him. And you're going to throw it to this player. And all you're trying to do is get athletes the ball in space with blockers. And that's what happens, especially on the width of this field. Get north-south, get a good gain. On 1st and 10, get you a good 5-yard gain. Now, go to the end zone. So what makes this difficult is that this player has to chase all the way across the field. Now, let's go to the defensive end. Now, when I coach this, normally you would tell the quarterbacks a certain rules to do on a zone read. But if you're throwing a behind the line of scrimmage zone read play, the only thing that can hurt this play and that you have to do is if that guy runs right at the quarterback, what we call it the mesh of the quarterback and the running back immediately, you got to hand it off because you might not have the opportunity to throw it. Pretty much anything else you can throw it. So we teach the quarterback, if I call a cannon or if I call a BTL, you're looking to see if he runs right at you to hit you. If he does that, hand it off. Otherwise, pull it, throw the ball, get the ball on the perimeter. Another example of Ottawa. Now, they've changed their set over here. So they have a tight end. He's going to arc to take the widest threat, and they're going to bring somebody back to block, and they're going to throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage. Very similar play. And once again, really good block as they come around here. Really good block. And turns into a 12-yard gain. Nice and easy throw. Good yardage. I love how Drew sets with a little bit of depth. Montreal and Cody Fajardo running very similar concept. Pretty good gain on 1st and 10. Could have been a little bit better, but I like the recognition here by the Montreal offense. So Edmonton lines up in a pressure look. So they walked up an extra guy on the edge of the line of scrimmage. Now the tailback's here, so they're going to be blocking zone this way. But with the second player here, watch the receiver. He comes down and cracks on him. And you say, well, we don't care about that guy. Let that guy come from depth. He's going to block him. We have one coming over to take the first threat, and we have somebody we're going to throw the ball to. And again, the quarterback can throw this immediately because look how much depth he gets, and everybody collapsed inside. Now, I might have just taken him and try to, he's trying to do the best of both worlds. Let him take it, get to the sideline, and try to see if 24 can make the play instead of giving 0 the opportunity. But again, good picture. Let's watch it from the end zone. Okay, fake to Fletcher. Pull it. Get it on the outside. Another good game. Saskatchewan, let's take a look at one of Saskatchewan's. Not as good a gain. Good tackle by the Bombers here. Just show you a couple of things. So sometimes you're just going to trust that you make the block here. You make the block here. And the player is going to not make the tackle in space. And it'll be too hard for them kind of sorted out. The other thing that happened here is they brought the field 2 receiver, if that makes sense. He's number 2. He's number 3. So technically he's covering 3. He's covering 2. But when he starts to go, Winnipeg did a good job and said, no, I'll take him as he comes across. So he's got a little bit more leverage than that player trying to chase across, if that makes sense. So he goes across, gets it, but nice tackle, good recognition. Now, this is kind of what I meant about, so when you call a BTL screen, we would instruct our quarterback, if that guy runs right at you, go ahead and hand it off, because that could be pretty dangerous. If he was already up and through, I think he's sacking Shea Patterson. So the only rule is I don't care how fast he goes. I don't care how slow he goes. I don't care if he goes up here. If he runs at you, you better hand it off. But gets it out there, but Winnipeg makes a nice play. Here's an RPO of a BTL built into the run game. Not great execution, but good plan. The receiver has to have outside position. And he doesn't do a good job of keeping his outside position. That's where the ball's going. You're going to instruct this player to run down here and get around the defense. Everybody should be blocking outside numbers on these. So when we get to the end zone, we'll go through this. But he's got outside number block here. He's got outside number block here. He's got outside number block here. And he should catch this ball and try to circle the defense. And they don't have enough numbers over here. Why? And I'll go to the end zone to show you in a second, but why is because let's count them up. There's a lot of guys at the line of scrimmage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys at the line of scrimmage. That is not a picture that's going to be very tasty to run the tight zone play. You can go here, you can go here, you can go here. These two would try to do that to there, or he could block out, but you still have 2 people that you can't account for. One you can read. You can't read 2 of them. So it's good to have this. Drew just drifts off and throws it, but they just don't have enough on the outside to make the block. Here's another nice one by Ottawa. Backed up. You want a quick and easy completion. Pretty good gain. Good blocking at the perimeter. Gets you to 2nd and short just after 1 play. So let's go back. So you've got 3 receivers here. You have an extra offensive lineman here. And there's your backside slot. So there's a corner. There's a halfback. Okay, they're in a 5 down front. There's their 2 linebackers. And then there's their 3 to the field. Okay, so you're going to block the inside zone play now. And then send this player back. And the numbers are great right now. 1, 1, 1. But watch what happens. 1 goes deep. Now it's 3 on 2. So now these 2 can double team, and he should have more pressure to the outside. He knows he has help inside. He should outside number block, and you just make sure the end can't make the play. Drew does a good job getting it. They circle the defense, fall forward, good yardage. So watch it from this angle here. So again, you're still going to run your zone play, and you're going to go that way. You're going to go here, here, here. These 2 are going to block those 2, and you read this end. And if the end does anything but run right at the quarterback, you can throw it. I always tell the quarterback, hey, on a cannon, on a BTL screen, what is your rule? If the end comes to me, hand it off. Anything else, I'm throwing it. And there it is. Good gain. Good play. Obviously, Ottawa likes these concepts a lot. Montreal. Sometimes into blitz, this is really good because teams they lose sight of who they're covering, can't find their receiver as he goes behind the line of scrimmage. So I like what happened at the point of attack here, and I'll show you that in a second. Kind of missed their blocks, or else it was going to be a big play here. So with this pressure look, watch, this slot came down to be a lead blocker to block anything off this edge. So he recognizes blitz. He's like, all right, you take the edge. As the linemen go inside, here's the receiver coming back. He's going to be an outside number block. He's going to be an outside number block. If they did a better job executing the blocks, could have been a huge play. Why? Because look what happens. All these players are blitzing. Everybody's coming. So there's not a lot of players left. So outside number, good recognition by Cody, good location. Just got to do a better job with your hands and stay outside. But still 6-yard gain into a blitz. So you made a positive play into a blitz. So he's here, he's here, he's here, he's here. He's going to travel up. And then you're just going to make sure 94 can't make the play. It's good. Like how Montreal ran this one. This is a little change up. So they have two backs in the backfield now. Okay, so when you have two backs in the backfield, basically the linebackers, the Sam linebacker, the strong side, and the Will linebacker, and the Mike, those three guys got to handle the two backs. And the DBs don't usually have to get involved in that. So they did a little bit of movement, a little bit of disguise, and they did a cannon to what I would call that a tailback cannon because you gave it to the tailback. And cannons are behind the line of scrimmage. I have rockets, bombs, and cannons. So what's the rule? All right, it's zone this way. Okay, we're going to fake the zone play this way. We may hand it off. But I called tailback cannon. I'm telling this tailback, you're going to get the backside. We're going to give you this screen pass if it's available to us. He will block the front side edge and just read what the end does. So really good here. There's only two low players. So good engagement. He can just wait. There you go. That's why you're trying to block outside number blocks, because that's what you want. You don't want the holding call that happened, but you want the ball on the perimeter for big plays. So, again, if the end does anything but run to the mesh, throw it. But pretty good blocking except for the damn hold. All right, got one more picture. Let's take a look at this one. Same game. It looks... To me, it's the same concept, a little bit of movement, a little bit of motion. Now they're bringing one back to block from here. He'll block on, he'll lead up and find whatever shows. They're running zone to the left, and here comes their tailback on the behind the line of scrimmage throw, or the cannon. Outside, makes one miss, 15-yard gain. This is the beauty of why completions have gone up so much in the CFL, because the addition of these type of plays, and you see everybody in the CFL using it. In my film study this offseason, this was some of the teams that used it the most. But really good stuff. Behind the line of scrimmage screens, get the ball, speed, and space.